There we go. Stop market order filled, halting down.
I know you gon' ring on my celly, cause you need somebody. Ring on my telly, wanna get around me.
About to halt down. Trying to add more. Added more to the winner here.
Fly, I'm gon' make you wine. Ring on my celly, cause you need somebody. Cause you need somebody. You need somebody.
Good morning, everyone. We're back here for another video. It's 7 a.m. today, and we're gonna try something different today. Our goal today is to take all of the money that we make from trading today and spend it all. But first, we actually have to invest by getting some gas for the cars and getting breakfast. So we're gonna start off by doing that, and we'll have a little money counter on the screen the entire time. So I don't know what type of trading day it's gonna be. It might be a green day, it might be a red day, it might be an amazing day. I have no idea. As a real trader, you never know what you're gonna wake up to, right? All you have to do is show up and be prepared. So first stop of the day is to get this car some gas. After taking George for a drive in the Rolls Royce, a nice cloud, a nice comfort, he hops in this car and he says, wow, this is uncomfortable. So it's the difference. This is a track car and that's pretty much a grandma car. So look at the difference here.
It's too early for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has some power.
There's nothing nice about getting out of these cars, bro. It's more and more difficult as I age. This shit with the war is crazy, bro. Gas is $5, man. So I already had some gas in the car, so we're at 1862 to start off the morning. So pretty much the game plan today is we're gonna start off getting some gas, we're gonna get some bagels, we're gonna start trading. After trading, depending on our day, we're either gonna go to the mall or I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. So again, as a real trader, when you wake up in the morning, it's 7:13 a.m. You have no idea what's gonna happen. Actually, right there's a Starbucks. You wanna get some coffee? We're already starting the day red. Let's go even more red. Back to where it all started, cause Starbucks. Can we do a grande cold brew, tall iced latte, and then a tall dark roast, please? You know, every time I go into Starbucks, bro, it's a crazy feeling because back when I started to work there, it's actually funny. They make you try every single drink on the menu because when a customer asks, what does it taste like? You're supposed to tell them. I see these people making these drinks, doing all these things, and it kind of reminds me of a time back in the day when that used to be me. Now here we are.
Whole house looking like a scene out of Insecure. Talking about dreams, but you think you're fit. Floating through life cause it's sink or swim. Take what you want by the horns and ride.
That's why I got the napkins, bro. See? Look at the napkins on deck. So we had pop-up bagel last time.
Yep.
We are having Moe's this time again?
Yeah, Moe's like a more local like bagel shop. I didn't like George and I didn't like this car. I would just rip it right now, have all the coffee spill on George, get a nice clip, and call it a day. But I actually like George.
30-minute delay on all content. I shower.
It's so funny because every time me and George go anywhere, it's like, oh, that's your brother, right? Everywhere. It's like not like sometimes, it's every time. I think I'm just gonna start saying you're my brother, bro.
It's not like cousin, it's not relative,
No.
It's literally brother.
And then I say cousin and they're like, oh, okay. You know? Can I please get 2 sesame and 2 everything? Can I also get an almond hort to go? It's for my wife. I don't know, she likes it. She loves it.
$15.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great day. So it's not even 8 a.m. and we're already down $50. Look at that view. The problem with this car is it has no trunk. No front trunk, no back trunk. So we're gonna be mobbing around like clowns over here. We got the coffee on the seat, we got the tripod, I got the bagels in my hand.
Get gas in the morning.
Get gas, get coffee, get bagels. And we're still got 2 hours till the market opens.
It's good.
We don't know what's gonna happen. Like I literally don't even know what's moving in the market this morning. I have no clue. So as soon as we get back, as soon as we have our breakfast, that's when I'm gonna start to sit down, start to see what's moving, start to make a plan and take it from there. Got your iced latte.
Ooh, hi.
All right, while my wife gets the bagels ready for us, let's see what's going on in the markets. So that CLRO from the other day, still kind of in play. Let's see what's moving. So I'm just using MIC chat. So think about it. Went and got a bagel, went and got coffee, went and got gas. I have no idea what's going on. So I open up the chat and I'm seeing what's moving, what people are talking about, what's happening. So I'll type in what's been moving pre-market so far. And now we'll see because I came late to the party. So within 1 second.
1 second.
DSY. So now what I'm gonna do is look around. Okay.
Anyone can type it and ask that.
NAMI, MB. So already there's definitely some stocks in play this morning. I like this DSY. So let me give you pop quiz. Why do you think I like DSY? So I'm seeing a high, a lower high, and a break of support. So I could just eyeball it these days, man. You can see here support here and support here. So I'm seeing a break of support, lower high, lower high, lower high. So now what I'll do is I'll check the float. DSY, Chinese company, low float. Now that kind of tells me to slow it down a little bit. So now we're going through the research process. So it's 8:46 a.m. In the next 15 minutes, we're gonna start up live trading on YouTube for free like we do every day. We're gonna start to build the watch list and see what's moving. The entire goal of today is to see how much money we can make trading and honestly see if we could even spend it all, you know? As you wake up becoming a trader, you don't really know what's moving. So this is what my process looks like every morning. First, I'm looking at what is the top percentage gainers of the day. Which stocks are moving the most? The stocks that usually move the most have the most room to come back down. That's number one. Number two is I'm trying to see what is the news that is driving these stocks. Do they have a partnership? You know, are they up with news with NVIDIA, or are they up on no news at all? You never know. So I have to know what the news is. Then I look at the daily chart, right? What is the pattern in the daily chart? Is it every time that the stock gets volume, it has a multi-day run? Or is it that every time the stock gets volume, it pulls back? Then what I do is I look at the filings. Is this a highly dilutive company? What is going on? Then I look at the pre-market chart. Is it uptrending pre-market? Is it downtrending pre-market? And then as I gather all this data, that helps me make my plan. So at 9 a.m., that's what I'm gonna start to do. After I have my plan, then it comes to executing that plan, right? So we have a pretty decent amount of stocks moving today. So hopefully it should be a solid day. It's Friday. Usually Fridays have a lot less volume, a lot less attention. Regardless of what happens, me and George are gonna have an amazing dinner tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, we'll get started trading here in the next few minutes. Testing, testing. Good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? Friday, crazy how fast the weeks are flying. We're already August 7, dude. I feel like we were just celebrating New Year's. What did you do for New Year's this year, George?
Can't remember, bro.
You can't remember? I guess that's a good thing, right? I guess that's a good sign. I can't remember either.
It's far away.
Let me see. Let me check my phone. See if I have any photos from, what the hell did I, and if I ask my wife, bro, she probably knows instantly. We did a house in Texas.
Was it with your brother and everybody?
Yeah. So we're gonna start here in a couple minutes, guys.
Who has the best time zone for the market, pre-market and...
Who has the best time zone? I mean, you gotta ask Steve. Let's actually ask Steve that question because Steve's been all around the world.
Yeah.
So he knows all the time zones. I mean, I like the New York time zone because it allows you to like sleep in a little bit. You're done at like 4 o'clock-ish. But then again, the California time zone is a lot tougher, but then you finish earlier. You know, but it's tough. That's a really early morning. Yeah, West Coast lets me trade the open and work a job, but trading pre-market is a little bit early, yeah, for sure. Let's ask Steve what he thinks is the best time zone.
I guess it depends if you're a full-time trader or you have another job, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like in California, you could be trading pre-market and then going to work, doubling your income. So we're gonna start here in a couple minutes, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Good morning, happy Friday. TGIF. Adam says he's at work right now.
Yeah. Alex is finally done with his antibiotics.
I just finished my antibiotics after 10 days. Me and George are getting a nice bottle of wine tonight. Oh, we gotta add that to the counter. Let's see. We'll see how much money we have left over.
Yeah.
What's up, Steve? Yeah, we were talking about time zones. What do you think is the best time zone for trading now that you've kind of traveled the world?
So funny because I was talking to Areg about this yesterday. So like you mentioned, if you have a day job and you go to work at whatever, California is probably, or even Hawaii might be good, but California is the best time because market opens at 6:30, so you're done 7:30, right? And you don't have a day job, you're just trading or whatever. Here's what I like. My top time zone is probably Iceland, UK, because the market's like, I think Iceland was like 12:30, but definitely 2:30 in the UK, which is nice. Next, I like the East Coast because 9:30 a.m., you're up at, not too early, but then you're done for the day, which is nice. Europe and Turkey is okay, kind of tough, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. because it can cut into your dinner. Asia is like late at night. That's a little tough. Here in Australia, 11:30 p.m. and then half the year, 1:30 a.m. That's really tough because you end up sleeping till noon every day. So California also really tough if you're not a morning person like me. So I like East Coast and UK.
East Coast and UK. Yeah, I like East Coast too. Because for a while I was like, I would prefer to kind of even be on the West Coast because I remember Bao saying that like he'd be done trading at 1 p.m. And he's like, my friends are still at work, so I would just go to the bar at 1. And for me, the way I would think about it is like you wake up a little bit earlier in the morning, but your day is done. So even if you wake up early and your trading day is done at 1 by the latest, you could take like a 2-hour nap and it'll still only be 3 o'clock.
Kind of cool. I mean, I'll be in California next week. It's kind of cool in some ways. I'm just tired. But then, 11 a.m., 12 p.m., you're kind of like, what am I supposed to do now? It's really a weird feeling to be done for the day, but it's nice.
Yeah, Bao, I think, was at the bar earlier. Yeah, definitely. So let's get started here, guys. So good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Live Trading. If this is your first time on Live Trading, welcome. We are using the webinars channel in Slack to communicate. As you guys know, we stream live every single Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 9:29 a.m. We build the watch list, we talk about what's moving in the market, and then at 9:30, we cut off the stream on YouTube and reserve it for MIC members. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Market's been moving. We've had a lot of action. It's not been a dead market. It's not been a slow market. It's been a pretty busy market, I would say. Plan is the same as always, is to stick to the process and walk away. Yesterday we traded CLRO. I made about $2,900 on CLRO. The entire time that I was talking about CLRO, I was saying that it felt so manipulated. There was a lot of things going on there. I didn't feel comfortable. It was trapping. It was this, that, the other thing, right? I was very, very nervous of the stock based on the price action that I saw. And if you kind of, fast forward a little bit, it ended up kind of cratering down, right? And then it just kind of flatlined all day. And in my head, I was like, oh, this thing is dead. Like nothing's gonna happen. Like it's broken, like whatever. And then all of a sudden, I look back and this thing went from literally $9 to $17.50. And I was like, George, this is what I meant when I thought that something was going on here. It's almost like they set a trap to release that trap after hours. At first, I was really frustrated because I was like, was I overthinking? Was I getting in my own head? Was I just nervous? Was I not executing properly? So I started to doubt myself because look, the money is the money, right? 2,900, 2,800, whatever the number was is fine. But my whole thought process is, what can I do to get better, right? Every single day. So I started to doubt myself and started to think, am I missing something? Did I not execute this properly? And then when I came back and it was around like 5 or 6 p.m. when I saw that, I showed George and I was like, George, look at this stock. And he's like, holy shit. So it turns out that I wasn't crazy. I was seeing the trap. I was seeing what's happening, which made me a little bit more happy and confident with the way that I executed it. You know what I'm saying? So I was very, very annoyed when I was done with the trade. And then towards the end of the day, I was very happy because my thought process was proven correct. You know what I'm saying? So CLRO, they laid the trap, and now it's kind of coming back down. Today, now it becomes a day 2 low-hanging fruit. The problem is it might still be a little bit trappy. So I'll kind of watch the price action. I would probably use a little bit less size than normal unless it, does exactly what I want. But CLRO is definitely going to be a watch for me. Also, we have this DSY moving. This move here from, 6 to 7 looks like some sort of pump and dump type of move. First, you see the pump, and then you see the dump. So this right here, I don't think is organic price action. This right here is a straight up pump and dump. So, that's something to kind of keep in mind. But yeah, coming into this morning, it's Friday. Just looking to trade well. Just looking to do my best. At the end of the day, it's the same process every day. I wake up and like a robot, I do the same thing every day. I look at which stocks are moving, which stocks have the attention, which stocks do not, and then hopefully try to get a bounce on the ones that are broken. That's it, every day. What I would do in the past is I would always try to find and attack the stocks that were up the most on the day. So when I first started trading, I thought that the stock that had the highest percentage gain was the best opportunity. But then I learned, through the market changing, that oftentimes the highest percentage gainer is sometimes the most trappy because it has all the attention. What you have to remember is these stocks move based on hype. They don't move based on anything else. So if you know that these stocks are hyped up, the main thing is understanding this day and age, the market has changed. So no longer do I want to trade the top percentage gainers of the day. No longer do I want to attack the hot stock of the day. I only want to focus on the stocks that are broken. You know, sometimes I'm human. I screw up. Maybe I start to trade day one stocks, but if I ever trade day one stocks, it's with a very, very small size. So coming into this morning, I definitely do see a bunch of stocks moving. We're going to get into the plan now. But overall, I want to remind you guys that our goal is not to trade the craziest, biggest, baddest, most insane stock, right? You know, it's like Bao says, we're not trying to slay the dragon, right? We're not trying to fight Mike. So actually, this is a really good example. If you want to fight Mike Tyson, you don't want to fight the Mike Tyson from 20 years ago, man. You want to fight the Mike Tyson that Jake Paul fought. So Mike Tyson from 20 years ago is like the big, bad, crazy stock that has all the attention, all the runner, and all the momentum. Chances are Mike Tyson's gonna knock you out 20 years ago. But the Mike Tyson now that's done mushrooms, DMT, marijuana, all these things that Jake Paul fought, don't get me wrong, I still don't want to fight that Mike Tyson. He scares the shit out of me.
He'll still hurt me. He'll still hurt me.
Yeah, he'll still hurt me, but at least you have a chance. And that's all we need, man. First things first is the same thing we do every day, is we look at the previous day's watch list. It's like a robot, man. I mean, for you guys that have been here for however many years, if you see, it's the same every day, man. Every day I'm saying the same thing. And, you know, I've had people message me, it's like, why do you keep saying the same thing? Because the same thing works. Anyway, let's get started. The reason why we look at the previous day's watch list is because the stocks from yesterday still may be in play today. INLF, not enough volume anymore, flatlining. So something to keep in mind, guys, I don't want to trade low volume stocks. I don't want to trade stocks that have no range. I am not waking up pre-market at 5 a.m. to pump these nano float stocks. That's not what we do here. I need volume and I need range. This is flatlining, right? It's like George's pulse right here, right? What you're seeing here is George's pulse. It's flatlining. You know, someone's got to revive him. But for me, that's not interesting at all. I'm not interested in a dead, boring stock. So next, JLHL, same thing, low volume, flatlining, so nothing there. ZYBT, you know, kind of came back up a little bit. The problem is the range is a little bit too tight. So what I mean by the range being too tight is there's not enough room to make money. You know, it's just kind of consolidating in a tight range. And to me, that means that there's not really much opportunity. So ZYBT is nothing. PAVS, this is yesterday's stock that was moving, pushed up all the way to 12 and came back down to 6. You know, in a perfect world, I wouldn't mind shorting a bounce to like 750. So 750, 8, and 850 on PAVs. WYHG, oh my God, dude, this one was bananas. So this was a stock that was taking all of the attention yesterday. It went from $3 to $26. That is insane. So for me, seeing a big move like this gave me confidence on CLRO to attack. What you have to remember is most of these trades that are happening, usually there's one main runner and there's a bunch of other plays that are kind of happening. So when I saw this WYHG moving like crazy, you know, it gave me the confidence that this would be the main runner of the day. And as you can see here, I mean, if you just draw this support line here, you can see kind of this like 15-ish area, right? 15, 15, 15. So once it broke 15, it cratered 50%, which is absolutely unreal. So in a perfect world, I would love a big bounce on this. The problem is that this has so much range. And for me, because this has so much range, I have to, number one, use less size, and number two, wait for it to kind of go higher. So on a scenario like this, you know, I'll probably wait for like a red to green rejection and then reassess it. So WYHG, low-hanging fruit stock. CLRO was yesterday's play that I said was trapping pretty aggressively. They might have squeezed everyone out into the after hours. You know, it kind of set a lower high this morning and then kind of started to fail off. You know, I wouldn't mind, you know, trying some at the VWAP area, this 1250, because look here, guys. If you look here, resistance, 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 resistance. Then resistance turns into support, support, resistance. So this 1250 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 9 instances of 1250 failing. So where do I want to at least take a starter? So I'll probably take a starter on the CLRO around 1250. So low hanging fruit again. Next is let's move on to what's moving today. AZI was moving, but that kind of came back down. So not really much interest there. MB, you know, pretty high price stock. You know, I'm not really good at these high price stocks. NAMI, NAMI, again, a little bit of a higher price stock. This one might have some money flow. You know, Chinese stock as well. So NAMI, potential money flow stock, ignoring short. And last but not least is DSY. So DSY, you can see, again, lower flow company, has a history of running. You know, Chinese company, you know, I mean, this is just absolutely insane. So it is a former runner. So you gotta just be really, really careful on this. What I see here on this DSY is there's some support in like the 520s-ish area. You know, you can see support, support, support. So in a scenario like this, I'd probably just wait to see a breakdown. You know, I'm not too obsessed with this one. I would feel a lot more comfortable, you know, on a bounce like CLRO. That's kind of what I'm thinking coming into today. So overall, main watches are the stocks that are broken from yesterday, WYHG and CLRO being the top picks of the day, hopefully if they bounce. With that being said, before I continue, I want to talk about our partnered broker. So the broker that I'm using, the broker that Steve's using, the broker that everyone's using in MIC to be able to short these stocks is not Schwab, it's not E-Trade, it's not Robinhood. You need a specialized broker to be able to trade these things. So the broker that I'm using is Cobra Trading. It's actually crazy to say, I was like one of their first 10 customers back in the day. They've been really, really awesome. I've tried every single broker out there, and they have a really big promo going on right now where if you sign up, you will get 30 days of free commissions. You will get $500 in locate fee credits, and we would be selecting 5 people to come trade live with me in person in an undisclosed location. And if you don't have the minimum for Cobra Trading, which is $10,000, their sister company, Big Trades, has a $2,500 minimum, and you will get a $200 locate fee credit. So a top watch is to watch this CLRO on a bounce. Hopefully we could get this WYHG as well to bounce. So if you guys see something bouncing, please call it out. So thought process is that this after hours move on CLRO probably cleared a lot of people out. Yeah, MB is a little bit weak, but it's too high of a price range for me. I only like to trade those more expensive stocks as like a multi-day. DSY, a little bit of weakness. Kind of looks like no one's home today. Just try to see where the money flow is gonna go. So DSY, some morning weakness, so if DSY bounces, I might try a small short. So we had a lot of action pre-market, but now since the market opened, it's kind of quiet. Where's the money flow going? NAMI, not really seeing it. Yeah, I'm not interested in that NAMI. DSY, a little bit weak. Can I take a starter on it? Maybe. Maybe what I could do is I could take a starter and have like a tight stop on it. That's what I'm considering.
I don't know if it's correct, but FinViz shows that as a 98% insider ownership, Chinese ticker.
WYHG, nothing either. CELZ is trying to move.
Yeah.
Dollar stock. So I'm gonna take a starter here on this DSY because it was pretty active pre-market. You know, jumping around, but now it's not really doing anything. So it has me thinking maybe everyone that they were gonna squeeze out got squeezed out. So my thought process is let me take a very small initial starter, and if we reclaim that VWAP area, let me stop out, and then let me get in bigger if it bounces. But so far, I just want to stay small, guys, because again, it's not bouncing enough, and it almost feels like there's just no one home on it. So just taking a small starter. This is a Chinese stock, so I don't want to add aggressively. CLRO not really doing anything as well. I mean, how the hell does this thing go to $17 and then now it's doing nothing? You know, all we need is a little bit of a bounce. So far it looks like the attention's on CELZ. Oh, here we go. Starting to get some bounce on CLRO. Let's see if we could get maybe at least 12 would be nice.
Alex, is your starter always 5 to 10%?
My starter is always like 5 to 10% of my size. So right now, my thought process on DSY is if we start to reclaim VWAP, which is 576, It's a lot easier for me to take a small stop on partial size than it is for me to take a stop on full size. So I don't want to always be oversizing. So we're starting to get a little bit of a bounce on DSY, so I'm considering maybe just exiting some of my starter position and waiting for higher. I would rather exit at 575, 580 and then reshort at 620. Again, a starter size is not meant to kill you. If I stop out at 575, 580, I'm gonna lose like 200 bucks. You know, it's not, 200 bucks is nothing for me, you know? So I just took a partial stop on DSY like my plan. It reclaimed VWAP, so I've reduced my size. So a small starter size makes it very easy to stop out. So now hopefully we get a nice little bounce to VWAP and I could scale in, or I just don't have to do anything else. But taking a small stop on small size is irrelevant to me because that's my plan. My plan wasn't to size up on that move. My plan was to take a feeler and see what happens. So let's see. So watching this bounce here on DSY, ideally we could get a push on VWAP. So I took a small ad there, 617, still only a partial starter size. I reduced some at 575 to stop out and control my risk. By controlling my risk, then I get a better entry and now I'm in a better position. Guys, your goal is not to copy my trades. My goal is to demonstrate the process. If you do not know what type of share size to use, if you do not know what type of size to use, you're not ready to size up. So look at that, guys. First initial entry, pretty perfect so far. So does that make sense as to why I stopped out and reattacked? So my plan was a reclaim here would be a stop out and look for a bounce. So I scaled in a little bit to the winner now on DSY. I'm in about 15% of my total size. So I'm still very, very small. This support here at 582, so watching that too. You can see the break of 580 would be a confirmation. If we break under 580, then I could scale it more, 20%, 25%, whatever the hell it may be. How do you decide before trading what your full size will be for a stock? Well, what you should do is you should know, number one is what is your risk per trade? And number two is knowing how confident and comfortable you are in the setup. So I would rate this DSY like maybe a C plus or B minus setup. That's just what I think. But again, my C minus B plus setup for you might be your A setup. I don't know what your best setup is. Here we go watching 580, added 580, about to halt down, trying to add more, added more to the winner here on DSY, about to halt down. Halting down, come on. Almost there. Come on. So this DSY was mega close to a halt down. Here CLRO just went red. So notice guys, I took a starter, a small starter. I told myself if it, MB, reclaiming, I told myself if it reclaims VWAP, I'm gonna stop out of that small starter. I stopped out on half of that starter. And then as we pushed VWAP, I added back. As we failed VWAP, I added in. As I identified the 580 support, I added. And as we broke low of the day, I added. So now I'm in about, call it 40% of my size. I added a little bit too aggressively on the low of the day break because it looked like it was about to halt down. So I added a little bit more aggressively. If I don't see this bounce failing, that aggressive add that I did at the low of the day, I have to reduce. But that 580 break was the key. So now ideally, I want to see a lower high be formed. I want to see it try to bounce and fail. It broke the low of the day and then reclaimed. It was about to halt down. So when I saw it about to halt down, I just started scaling in, but unfortunately it didn't halt down. So now I have to adjust accordingly if it reclaims. So my ads were a little bit more aggressive than they should have been in terms of price, right? I kind of chased it a little bit because it looked like it was halting down. And now it's kind of bouncing, so we'll see if I have to adjust, because why is it gonna go from low of the day back up, right? If it starts to go from low of the day back up, then that becomes a trap. So my first now initial thought is we broke 580 and we failed. We broke low of the day. We are about to halt down and totally collapse. Why didn't it collapse? So what I want to see is I want to see the bounce fail. If the bounce does not fail, then I want to reduce my size and then wait for that turn again. I would rather add back on a 550 break, right? I would rather stop out of a little bit, right? add more on a 550 break because then it'll kind of confirm more. So I want to see a 550 break. Again, everything is based on what I see. So MB is taking money flow. So we have a different stock taking money flow and a different stock taking attention. So I feel more inclined to just reduce some and then add back if it goes lower. Like I would feel more comfortable reducing some because I chased it looking for that halt down and that halt down never came. So my thought process now comes down to reduction because this halt down, this move down to the low of the day should have broken it. Why is the stock going from high of the day to low of the day, then back to high of the day? The only way that could happen is if there's some manipulation going on, you know? So I took a little bit off on the dip here at 590 just to reduce my size a little bit because my thought process is let me at least just kind of control the risk from these bad ads here. That's some pretty ads because if it halted down, it was going to open up, 50 cents lower. So I have no problem, kind of taking some of the piece off. And if we kind of break down this 550, 560 area and create like this rounding top, then I want to add back. So I went into risk management mode because how the hell is this stock going from low of the day to high of the day? Makes no sense. So if I'm losing confidence, does that mean I should get in bigger? Or does that mean I should reduce? Let me reduce and see. I could always add back. So 550, 560. If we start to break 550, 560, I'll just scale back in. No problem. If we break low of the day again, our next support is at like $5, right? So why can't this go to $5 or lower? What I could even do is I could set a stop market order. So I'll set a stop market order at 560. That way if 560 breaks, I could just automatically add. So this ad here was a little bit emotional because it looked like it was halting down. We had the biggest death candle, the biggest break of support. So I said, it's probably gonna break down. And it didn't, so I had to adjust. What could I have done better? Maybe instead of, reducing at 590, I could have reduced at 580, right? So what could I have done better? I recognize that it was being a little bit weird, so why didn't I take it off earlier? That's one way to improve. So 560 here, 560, 550 would be me scaling back in. So watching DSY 560 for my stop market order to fill, I'm taking the emotions out of it. Sometimes maybe they just need to bounce. There we go, added, 560. Next ad will be 550 break. 550 break added. Another stop market order filled. So now I'm back in. So now we're getting a lower high now, right? So now again, my thought process now becomes, all right, if this thing after breaking low of the day, having a failed bounce and under VWAP, if it starts to reclaim levels after this, then I want to reduce again, right? So as I'm being proven right in the stock, I want to scale in. As I'm losing confidence or being proven wrong, I want to scale out. So you ask yourself, Alex, what will make you even more confident? Well, what would make me even more confident is the same low of the day that we broke and reclaimed. If we could break it and stay broken, why don't I set a stop market order again? That's been working for me. So setting a stop market order at 535. So if we break 535, low of the day again, I will add again. At this moment, I'm probably in about, because we're under VWAP, about 20, 25% of my size, because we're under VWAP. Why am I not in bigger? I'm not in bigger because I don't like the low of the day reclaim. If we break the low of the day and stay broken, that's where my confidence comes in. Oh, look at this MB. So this is taking money flow. So look at this, guys. So far, the stock selection is correct. So now, guys, think about what's happening. We have two other stocks taking money flow. And one stock is under VWAP and creating lower highs. Even if this trade doesn't work, don't you think that the stock selection is correct to trade the stock that's under VWAP, that's breaking down, versus the two stocks that are continuing to make new highs? Nothing is guaranteed, but as these other stocks start to move, our probability should go up. As a short bias trader, we don't want to be trading these stocks that are continuing to make new highs. We want to focus on the broken stocks. So regardless of this DSY working or not, at this very moment, this is our top potential opportunity. Now, can that change? It's possible. So my next ad, guys, will be a break of this low of the day again, 535. I have a stop market order. Be careful with your sizing. You shouldn't be oversized. Certainly nothing more than 30% of your size. So if your max size is 1,000 shares, you shouldn't be more than 200, 300 shares max right now. because we still have not confirmed that 550 and that low of the day.
Alex, do you notice on a stock like MB taking all the money flow, when it halts for the 5 or 10 minutes, does that flow go back into DSY, or what do you notice on that?
I mean, if it's halting up, it should exit DSY because people are trying to free up cash to buy MB.
Right.
Add a little bit of DSY here, 568 on this lower high. Still reserving most of my size for that low of the day break. 550-ish. So considering reducing some DSY if it reclaims. So I reduced a little bit of DSY here. Again, finger on the trigger to add if we fail again. But so far just getting chopped up here because you can see it's kind of creating these higher lows. So it broke this support of 570, and immediately when it broke this support, it just came back. So starting to see some warning signs here, but again, I know my key areas. So as long as I'm stopping out on my partial sizes, as long as I'm stopping out on controlled size, when it turns, I will be able to make back the money. So just waiting to see what is happening right now. Again, I have no problem stopping out and getting back in. Every single stock this week, bro, has been choppy. Choppy. Like you can see it pushed $6, but it's not really moving aggressively over 6. But I'll rather wait to see that 580 break again. So usually I like to see the break of the previous candle lows. So if you look at this DSY, see this 570? If it breaks that 570, then I want to add. So this 585 here, that's kind of what I want to see as an add. VAT taking money flow. So you can see it pushed on 6 and it kind of failed. So it might just be kind of chopping me out a little bit here. So scaling back in here on DSY, 580. So I have no problem stopping out and getting back in if it confirms. I'm not adding to a loser. I'm adding after it confirms. So we can see that, we have this uptrend line here. The lows of this candle are 562 and the uptrend line is 560. So once again, what I'll probably be doing is let me set a stop market order on 560. So I have a stop market order to add on a 560 break. My thought process is if we create a breakdown of this uptrend and a breakdown here, it's back in play. But this is just chopping around right now, dude. Right. It's just doing a whole lot of chop. Like every stock that's been moving this week, guys, has not been clean. Every stock moving this week has not been easy. So we have to adapt accordingly to this market cycle. And this market cycle is SHIT. But when you have a massive death candle and elevated volume on DSY and 2 other stocks taking money flow, I mean, it's worth a shot. So 560 is my key area now because 560 is a break of these lows here. It creates a lower high and it breaks the uptrend. So let's get that 560 break. I have a stop market order to add. And I have even an open stop market order at that 535 still. So that 535 lows that we identified earlier, I still have a stop market order there too. 560, let's see if we get it, 567. So we got that pop, we got that lower high. Now I want to see some follow through. So the DSY is still holding that area, guys. It's still holding. So it's good that I'm having a stop market order to kind of control the emotions. But I'm starting to get frustrated by this thing taking too long. 560, rewatching. Again, I have a stop market order to add on that 560 break. Because if you look here, that low of that candle is 562, and that is also a break of the uptrend. So you can see now we're starting to test that uptrend. This stupid halt down reclaim was the most annoying part. So if this halt down reclaim didn't happen, man, it would have already been at $4. Got an add there, stop market order filled. So broke that uptrend line, and now next support area we see is 548. So now we got another lower high, we got a break of the uptrend, and we're at that 550 $0.50 mark. We want to see the 550 break, take us back down to the low of the day. So as each of the key areas are breaking, I want to scale in. So regardless of what happens, these price action has not been freaking clean, man. Nothing has been clean, nothing. I do have that stop market order still at 536.
May have to curse the stock a little bit, bro.
I think I may give it some sweet nothings, George. See, like it's bouncing again on what? Looking around, what else would I have traded today? CYBT I wouldn't have traded, VAT I wouldn't have traded, MB I wouldn't have traded, NAMI didn't bounce, and CLR didn't bounce. So I'm trying to ask myself, did I pick the right stock today? And everything's telling me yes. I want to double check myself to see if I'm missing something. Okay, let's activate the indicator. So reduce some DSY here into the dip. At this point, I'm thinking that this DSY is gonna retest this VWAP area. So kind of considering just reducing a little bit more here because I'm getting chopped up. I always tell myself I could get out and get back in because look, the moment that I added, it bounced. You know, the moment that I added, it bounced. When YJ was taking money flow and I added, DSY used that as an opportunity to bounce up. Like what the hell? How is it that the moment that I add on YJ losing money flow, it pops 20 cents? Makes no sense. So I reduced some here, guys. $6 again. So let's see if we do get that fail somehow, some way, then I'll add back. Now I'm getting chopped up, so I don't want to give myself too many attempts here. You know, maybe we do finally get that spike and fail that it's been doing multiple times. So be careful. Like I said, I reduced. What I need to see is I need to see a fail, and then on that fail, I'll add back. You see it's potentially creating a little bit of a double top there. Again, a break under 6, maybe 590, 580. I'll add it back, but now we're starting to see some volume coming out. So might need a squeeze out first. Let's see, $6 again. Again, $6 showing up. 590. So I'm trying to scale back in here, but let's see, here we go. Here we go. Come on, stop market order filled, halting down. That's what we do. You see that, bro? Oh, it's not even halting. It's not even halting down now.
Didn't halt. Oh my god.
Trying to add more 550, because at this point, bro, it should be broken. You see it? What is going on, bro?
How are they stopping those halts?
I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Add more 560 into the bounce. Like, bro, like what? Oh, now again it's halting down? Bro, I don't have the answer, George. What was that thing from Kanye and Sway?
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
What the? That's my answer. Is what the? So let's recap. We're under the uptrend line. We're under the low of the day. We're under all support. It should fail here. They got me to stop out. I added back in. My stop market orders were still in, and that's what gave me my ads. Now at this point, dude, at this point, if they do this giant death candle on elevated volume, they break low of the day and they bring it back up to high of the day, you know what? Take my money. At that point, you could take my money. Because at that point, I'm like, what the f, right? At that point, after this, if you reclaim it after this, you deserve my money.
I mean, it's taken out like 2 trends. It's broken lower. It's just not failing.
At that point, bro, it deserves my money. At that point, I'm okay being a loser. I'm okay being a loser at that point.
Where are your exit points?
Okay, great question, George. So my exit will be on support. So first area of support I see is kind of this 505. So 505 would be the first area. And then if we break 505, we got 490. This is the largest volume death candle of the day from high of the day to low of the day. If they reclaim it here, bro, it's like, what the, right? At that point, guys, at that point, if you see this and it reclaims, that's not you. That's the stock. What a piece of shit, dude. I'm sorry. Some people say I'm vulgar. Some people think that, you know, this is not what trading is. If you can't handle the heat, bro, get out of the kitchen. Vulgar, they say. You know what's vulgar? The market is vulgar. There's a hidden seller at 540. You see how it's selling, selling, selling? He's not budging. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions, guys. I'll get to it when I can. I just want to focus up here. 3 times it was supposed to halt down today. At 9:40, at 10:25, and 10:26. 3 times they were supposed to halt this thing down. They saved it. What the hell? How you save that shit?
Yeah, but how is it at the halt level that it doesn't halt? It doesn't like...
So I would say, guys, if you're just joining us this week or if you've been around, this week has been quite literally some of the most erratic, insane, random price action. I just can't believe, bro, I can't believe it tried to halt 3 times. Not 1 time they save it, fine. 2nd time you save it, all right. 3 times you save it, man. 3 times?
I mean, to save it like that is just complete manipulation at that point, right?
100%, bro, 100%.
So Alex, we're under some supports here.
Okay.
Now it's lingering a little bit. We're at zombie times. What's your thought process?
My thought process is the stock just had the biggest death candle of the entire morning on the highest volume of the morning. It is under the uptrend line, it is under the VWAP line, and it is at the low of the day. So if I ever had any chances for this to work, this is right now. Right. It's under the low of the day, it's under VWAP, and it had a death candle with elevated volume. So if it's gonna go, it's gonna go now. And I'm willing to stay a couple minutes past zombie time to see if it's gonna happen. This is trading, man. Like, it's like some days the price action is garbage. Some days the stocks trick you. Some days there's traps. So anyone that says, oh, sunshine and rainbows is shot to hell. This is real trading. Today sucked. Today sucks. I mean, I don't want to jinx it. I'm making money, which is fine, but sucks the action today. Like, we just broke low of the day. We're not even freaking covered more of my position here, 525. So I covered a little bit more than half here at 525 here on DSY. So you see here, guys, how the stock once again is at the low of the day and it's not breaking down, so I'm reducing. So this has been freaking sloppy. How much does PDT going away have to do with it? I think it has to do a lot with it, honestly. So good reductions there into the dip. I'm still waiting for that $5 break, man, but like, what the hell? You see all day, every day today has been just chop, trap, and garbage. You know, it's very, very difficult today. Very, very difficult. I'm pissed off, I'm stressed out, I'm annoyed. I wanted to dip more. I gave it 10 minutes to break down lower, and it didn't. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving it the attempts. So as we dip down, guys, I want to reduce more of my position because I'm running out of patience here. It's 30 minutes past zombie times.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I've got a little bit left, and I got some orders out to.
I mean, I know what's gonna happen, Steve. I know exactly what's gonna happen, bro. I know exactly what's gonna happen. You know, this is just horrible, 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 annoying, annoying, annoying action. So it's still, man, still not breaking down, man. Still, oh, YJ6. Holy $6. Whoa.
What a move.
So again, guys, between everything that happened today, with every single stock that was moving today, I still think, even though DSY sucked, it was the best potential opportunity we had for the day. You know?
They just stopped that halt too on YJ?
I don't know what the is going on, bro.
What's going on with the halts today?
I don't know what the is going on. I don't want none of the smoke. That's all I know.
Yeah, I thought it was halted. Not halted. Okay.
I don't want any of the smoke, bro. I'm all out DSY. I'm all out, dude. That's it. You know what? Enjoy the indicator. You know what? That's all I gotta say is enjoy the indicator. So here's my day. This has been the hardest $2,900 day that I've made. So the hardest $2,900 day. Again, had this worked out, it would have been probably like a $10,000 day. But dude, this thing just stressed me out, pissed off, not following clean price action. We're gonna do $70,000 for the month still. So $2,900 day. I'm not really happy about it. I'm rather frustrated about it. I tried my best. I ignored YJ. I ignored MB. I ignored CLRO. I ignored VATE. So in terms of stock selection, it was either trade DSY or take a no trade day. If this worked out, this should have been at 450, man. It should have been at 450, but it didn't. It didn't. It didn't. It's probably gonna indicator. It's probably gonna fail. It's probably gonna crater now. And if that does happen, enjoy it. I know I'm gonna be pissed off. In the grand scheme of things, we're still making lower highs. We're still under the key areas. If I wanna be patient, patience I'm sure will pay. But it's Friday, I'm pissed off. I'm ending an all green week. So finishing up 70K for the week, which is not bad if you think about it. 70K for the week is actually a ton of money. I guess I can't be so mad about that, but this stock really just pissing me off, dude. I gave it my best shot. I avoided all the crazy stocks. Today was tough. Today was stressful. Today was real trading. It sucked today. Today sucked. But if on a day that sucks, I'm still able to make $2,900, it's not so bad. That's what I'm trying to chalk it down to. But I know for sure, when I come back and look at this shit, George, it's gonna be at $4.50. And at that point, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But until then, guys, I'm gonna call it a day here. Walking away, my $2,900 day, and we'll be back at it again, first thing, Monday morning. So this next clip you're seeing is literally 5 minutes after the last clip you're seeing, and it crashed over $1 a share. That would have been $20-something thousand today. That right there is me getting out, and that's 20,000.
Let's call the Alex indicator.
Now we definitely gotta get out of the house, bro. Alex indicator never fails. Alex called it on DSY 450. Finally, thank you, Alex. I went to war. That should have been a really easy opportunity. That should have been a really great opportunity. But sometimes in trading, you can have the best plan, the best stock, and it just doesn't do what you want. So I reduced my risk as much as I could. I tried scaling in as much as I could when it went for me. Tried to halt down 3 times. And it didn't. It broke the low of the day, it rebounded. So all in all, man, yeah, $3,000 is a great amount of money for a lot of people, but had this worked out the way I wanted, it would be 3-4 times that amount. And that's what I'm frustrated about. And I go and I do the math, and I'm like, dude, what the am I talking about, dude? How the hell could I even be pissed about that? So it's just kind of trying to rewire your brain. So what we're gonna do now, George, is because of this video's concept is to take the money and try to spend it all in one day. We got $2,900 to spend. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna wire out that money out of Cobra. So we're gonna show you the wire out process. That way the money could hit my bank account at 4 p.m. today. But until then, we're gonna try to spend it. First things first is we come over here and we fill out a wire out form. So this is the wire out form. So let's fill it out. We're gonna pull out the exact amount that we made today, $2,921.89. So we're gonna email Cobra. We're gonna send them the wire out form. Just double check that this is the right form. So let's call Cobra.
Happy trading, it's Aaron.
Hey Aaron, it's Alex. How you doing?
Good, how's it going, man?
Good, good. Just calling for a wire out here.
Okay, so you know the drill.
Yep. Amount is $2,921.89. I know it's obscure.
Okay, all right, man, we'll get it out for you.
Sounds good, bro. Thank you. Have a good one. All right, guys. Now we wired out the money. It should hit our bank account at 4 p.m. So at 4 p.m., we'll check back in and show you guys that. So we got $2,873 to spend.
Just about.
So let's say at dinner, we get, how much you want to spend on wine? $300-$400? Let's say we spend $500 on wine. We're going to account for some extra room. Say dinner is going to be another, again, I'm accounting for the worst, maybe another $600. That leaves us about $1,800, right? $1,800 to spend.
Just about.
So what the hell can we spend $1,800 on, dude? And this is all like conservative estimates. I'm sure we're gonna spend less on dinner, but just in case we have like a $1,100 budget for dinner, definitely get up today, dude. Definitely. I'm on my last day of antibiotics. The stock pissed me off. Long week. So we got about $1,800 to spend. All right, guys, so that was a little bit too stressful. So we're gonna decide to go down to the gym, let off some steam, hopefully come back more relaxed, get that anger out of our body, shower up, and then head over to the mall to spend our remaining money. So let's see what happens. All right, we just had a great 50-minute workout. George kicked my ass, which is great. Now we're gonna shower up, hop into one of our amazing cars, and then go for a nice drive, answer some questions, and start buying shit. All right, guys, so we're back in the car now. We're gonna head to Miami Design District, which is exactly like it sounds, where all the designer stores are. Pros are, we got about like, I don't know, call it $2,900 to spend. If you take away the dinner, which I'm over accounting for at $1,000, we got like $1,900 to spend. Problem is that it's 100 degrees outside here in Miami, and the mall is outside. So George and I are probably gonna melt in the 30 minutes that's gonna take us to get there. So we're gonna answer some of your common questions now, and then hopefully go shopping.
All right, well, the first thing before I get into the questions, Alex, I guess talk to us about today's trading. We're a little frustrated this morning.
Yeah, definitely.
You made $30,000, which I think is great. You know, at the end of the day, $30,000 is $750K a year, right? Run us through why you're upset, what was going on in your head, and how you handled it.
Yeah, so this week was a really, really difficult week in the markets, man. All the stocks that were moving were really, really choppy and really, really difficult to trade. As a trader, when you show up to the market, you don't know what type of cycle that you're gonna be in. Yesterday on CLRO, I felt like a little bit uneasy because there was so much manipulation, price action wasn't breaking down, and it turns out that after hours I ran. Today on DSY, a very similar situation. It was weak and just kept trapping and trapping and trapping. And usually if I don't see the stock doing what I wanted to do within the first like 30 minutes to an hour of the day, I'm usually like, you know what, it's not worth my time. So today, not only did it take a little bit longer for it to do what it did, chopped me up a couple times, and the moment I got out, 5 minutes after I got out, it tanked. It did exactly what I wanted and would have made me 20 grand on the day. So although I made 3,000, this should have been a $20,000 day, and the stock faked me out enough to get me out of it. It had 3 opportunities to break down, and every time it tried breaking down, it just came back on air. And after the 3rd time of doing it, I mean, like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I'm an idiot. So I did it enough times for me to start to doubt myself, and you know what? That's exactly what they wanted, because after that, it just got destroyed.
The Alex indicator hit, which is good for the members. but obviously not the best for you.
And basically the Alex indicator, what that means, as soon as I exit the position, it does exactly what I want it to do. But most of the time that happens because I get out, I make my money, and I'm not patient enough, right? My process tells me to trade the first hour of the day. If I'm trading past the first hour, then I'm doing something wrong. So if my process tells me to walk away, I can't be upset and I can't be frustrated because as you can see, the process is repeatable.
Right, at the end of the day, green is green. You get to go spend it now. We got the counter on the video, and you get to enjoy the day.
Yeah, let's see. Right now it's 1:30, so still got plenty of time in the day.
And yesterday you made $10 more.
And 10 bucks
and if
more,
you were
yeah.
to stay,
I made 10 grand.
yes, but then if you were to stay, well, if you were to stay longer, it went up to what?
Yeah, I would've
It
been
went up
dead.
like double almost,
Yeah, I would've
right?
been dead.
Yeah, exactly.
If I overstayed, I would have been dead.
Right.
Same thing, same process.
I think the process, I guess, pays off at the end of the day.
The thing is, like, if you deviate and you get rewarded, then you want to deviate more. It's like driving drunk. If you drive drunk 10 times and you get away with it, you're going to keep driving drunk, but all it takes is one time for you to die.
All right, so let's get into some of these member questions. Darren SC, does the stock selection red flags list have a scale? Example, double trouble number 1, SSR number 6.
You don't have to get that nuanced with it, right? You don't have to get that complicated. As long as there's a red flag, I mean, look, can you argue that a stock that has a low float is riskier than a stock that has easy to borrow? I mean, you can argue that, but the amount of the arguing that you're gonna do is not even worth it, because at the end of the day, if you see the red flag, it's still a red flag. It might be a little bit more of a red flag, but at the end of the day, red flag is red flag. So I don't think you have to get too complicated. I find that a lot of traders overcomplicate things sometimes. I keep it simple. So in my head, if I see something that's a red flag, so what is that? Stock that's easy to borrow, stock that's a day one, stock that's low float, stock that has high insider ownership, stock that has SSR, stuff like that are all red flags. I don't say in my head, well, this has SSR, so it's double as risky, or this one is that, because like, dude, you don't have to overcomplicate it that much. I just have to identify it, recognize it, and then size down from it.
And you're right. I mean, so you're saying basically there's no like
Scale?
Scale. There's no scale.
For the amount of time that you're gonna spend scaling it out, it's a red flag and that's it. As long as you know it's a red flag, you don't need to know how much of a red flag it is, you know?
Right. At the end of the day, we were talking about this yesterday, I believe, or the previous video. A red flag is going to determine the grade.
Instead of worrying about how much of a weight that the red flag has, you should maybe worry about how many red flags there are. So instead of worrying about the weight of it, if there's easy to borrow, SSR, day one, low float, that's 4 different things. That is way more important to recognize than the weight of one.
So Hoffer from the chat, can you ask about adding to winners versus covering some for profits? I often find myself trying to add to a winner, and then I see Alex covering to lock in some profits.
For me, what I've found is if the stock is immediately going in my direction, I want to be able to take a little bit of the position off to build a profit cushion. So that profit cushion is like my insurance policy. You don't want to have to use your insurance policy, but you're happy when you have it. For me, when I'm able to reduce some of my position into the dip, whether it be a quarter, whether it be whatever it is, that kind of gives me the confidence to be like, all right, locked in 300 bucks, I locked in 500 bucks. All right, now if the stock goes against me, at least I have a little bit of room with those profits to risk. So for me, I primarily like to at least take a little bit off before scaling into my winner. You know, sometimes, yes, I scale in, but like trading is like an art more than a science. It's not gonna be exactly the same every single time. Every setup is not exactly the same. So for me, if I'm able to universally say that as long as I'm able to take a quarter of the position off, lock a little bit of profits, then on the bounce or whatever the opportunity is to scale in and risk those profits or use those profits to amplify that trade, then I'm okay doing that.
And I honestly, I think I've noticed in this market, I mean, every market cycle is a little different.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have those death candles, you have those big fails, but in this market cycle, it's really paying off to take those profits when it goes to the low.
It is a nail and bail market cycle right now.
Right.
It is not a wait around and see. Just take the money and run right now. That's what's working.
Honestly, it's perfect for Bao. I feel like a lot of these are going up and down and playing
This
that.
is
that
Bao's
channel.
ideal market.
Right.
And it's not my ideal market. Same thing, cycles.
Toops from the chat. Alex knows a lot of top tier traders. Are there some traits or commonalities that he sees amongst the top traders that he knows?
So every single high level trader that I know is obsessed with trading. They are obsessed. They are almost addicted to trading. I would consider myself obsessed with trading. So number one is the love of the craft makes them obsessed with trading. It's all they think about, all day, every day. You know, like whenever I'm not on my phone checking quotes, even if I'm watching TV, I'm thinking about stocks, I'm thinking about price, I'm thinking about what I could do better, I'm thinking about the opportunity. So that's number one, is almost like obsessive nature with the market. It's not about the money. It's about the obsessive nature with figuring out the market, because the money is a byproduct of figuring out the market. I love money more than anyone else, bro. Money's what allows you to afford these things. But if you focus on the money, then you're leaving less attention on figuring out trading. If you focus more on figuring out trading, the money comes. That's number one. Number two, I still say this to this day, man. He's in the Market Wizards book. It's Shark. So I had the opportunity to trade next to Shark for about a year at S&P Capital, and Shark is the best trader I've ever seen by far, man. He's definitely not watching these videos because he's too busy printing money. But what I've seen Shark do better than any other trader, which all other traders do well, but never as well as him, is if he's wrong, he doesn't double take, he doesn't think about it, he just gets out. The amount of times that I've seen Shark be wrong in a trade and not hesitate and just get out on the ask, right? He's a short bias trader. He'll get out on the ask, doesn't think about it, doesn't do it, just gets out. I've never seen a trader, bro, be that okay with taking a loss that fast. So being able to manage your risk and take the loss as fast as possible, making it a paper cut instead of a gunshot wound, is, I think, super important, dude. Super, super important. It's like when I was trading today on DFNS, DNS?
DSY.
Shot. See, like I don't even remember that. But I remember the price action. DSY, what I remember is I took that first initial short and I said if it reclaims VWAP, I'll stop out of my starter size. So I had a tiny size, I had a plan, it reclaimed that VWAP, I stopped out for a paper cut, and because I stopped out for a paper cut, that allowed me to scale back in more aggressively.
Yeah, and I saw it firsthand. I mean, you were down a little bit, and you were able to add it back on top, which gave you the leverage and
gave me a better entry, better everything.
Right.
A lot of people, what I find, and here's what they do wrong. A lot of people oversize their trades. People get in way too big for their account size.
Right.
Oftentimes, I find that a lot of struggling traders, if they're able to just reduce their share size, it sounds counterintuitive. How the hell am I supposed to make more money by using less shares? It's because you're less emotional with the stock, and you allow yourself. So there's multiple ways to make money. If you have 1,000 shares, right, and you make 10 cents, you make $100. But if you have 500 shares and you make 20, 30 cents, you're gonna make more money with the range with less size. So you have two ways, and I prefer to use less size and have more range in the stock to make money like that.
Was there one time in your trading career that you used more size and then took less range? Or like wanted it the opposite of the way you want it now?
Back what I would do is I wouldn't know that I should be using different size on every single setup. So I would be using the same size on every single trade. I was up 10,000 one day, down 20,000 the next day. Up 30,000 one day, down 10,000 the next day. Because I was using the same size on every single setup. It's like the bow at Disney World example that I give all the time. So we'll say it again real quick in case there's any new viewers, but let's say you're making a bet. And the bet is that bow is gonna get drunk. So if he gets drunk, you win. Right? You win that trade, you win that bet. So there's two scenarios. Scenario number one is Bao goes to Disney World. Bao goes to Disney World, he's probably like a 50% chance he's gonna get drunk. Would you take that trade? Maybe. But what about a scenario where Bao's at the club, he just ordered a bottle of Hennessy, there's a couple cute girls in front of him. Which opportunity do you think he's gonna get drunk in? Probably a 99% chance he's gonna get drunk at the club. So when Bao is at the club and you see that bottle of Hennessy, that is when you size up. You could size up at Disney World, but you probably have a 50% chance of winning, or you could wait for Bao at the club and have a 99% chance of winning. That is why you use different size on different setups.
Actually, Alex, I'm gonna go into one of my personal questions. You know, like on your DOS, it says the withholding buying power, and that's the amount you're in that trade, correct?
Yes.
Do you, on an A, B, and C setup, do you want your withholding buying power to be different? And is that like depict your grades?
I mean, technically, yeah, if you think about it. So withholding buying power just means how much buying power is the trade taking. So for example, if I am using, I'm throwing a random number out there, 100 grand. 100 grand on a trade for me would probably be like a B setup, right? So if I'm using that type of money on like a C setup, I'm in too big. If I'm using that type of money on an A setup, I'm in too small. Again, you have to know what your risk is per trade. So for example, let's start with sizing. So your size should be exponentially larger based on each trade. So as a scale, right, this is all just for reference points. On a C setup, I want to use 1,000 shares. On a B setup, I want to use 5,000 shares. So already a B setup to a C setup is 5 times more size.
Well, it's also depending on how much the stock is too.
Sure, I'm just
Right.
giving like a
Okay.
reference number.
Right.
So I'm saying essentially 5 times bigger on a B setup versus C setup. An
Okay.
A setup, maybe 25,000 shares. So an A setup is almost 25 times the size of a C setup and 5 times the size of a B setup, you know? So what people are doing is they're using the same size on a C setup as an A setup. At that point, it's like DJ Khaled says,
Congratulations, you played yourself.
when an A setup comes along, my goal is how big could I really get, dude? I want to bulldoze in the size, you know what I'm saying? Because that is bow at the club. Whenever bow at the club shows up, bro, I want to be mega, mega, mega aggressive. Why? Because there's a 99.9% chance I'm going to win. Now, this is trading. There's still the 0.1 where you're going to lose. And at that point, fine, you lose. You can't win everything.
Right.
But if the odds are in your favor, you have to go for it. My Bible quote is if you do not know what your A setup is, your B setup is, or your C setup is, you have not earned the ability to size up. Sizing up is a privilege. So if you do not know what your best setups are, you're not ready to size, man.
We have another question from the MIC chat. Yeah, how many hours should one spend a day/week studying MIC videos?
The honest answer, guys, the honest answer is just watch one video a day, right? Watch one video a day and watch 2 on weekends, right? We've narrowed it down so simply that our video is like 15 minutes each. So in our MIC library, we'll pop it up right now, we have Alex's live trades. So I have about, if I remember correctly, $800,000 of live trades recorded. So I would suggest watch one live trading video from me and then watch one MIC video from our Accelerator 2.0 and call it a day. That's gonna take you maybe at most an hour. Maybe on your commute you could watch it, maybe, I don't know, but like I would say one video a day. And that's like bare minimum, dude. I myself am watching at least like one trading video a day, whether it be from Lance, whether it be a podcast, whether it be chat with traders, whether it be words of wisdom. I'm watching at least one trading related content myself from other traders every day because I've already consumed all of our content.
Right.
So until you consume all of our content, focus on one video a day. Seriously, it's not really much.
If a new trader right now is looking and they want to start with some videos, where should you suggest they would start? Which library? Where what kind of?
So all of our videos and all of our education, all of our courses is included in the membership. So we don't like charge anything for that additionally. But I would start with the Accelerator 2.0. So this is a bite-sized video course that teaches you technical analysis, fundamental analysis, our strategy and everything. Because essentially when you're joining, it's like learning a new language. So you have to learn the basics of that new language first before you could understand.
Is that the Accelerator? Is that the 7-hour course?
So the Accelerator is a 7-hour course. The
Right.
Accelerator 2.0 is Anas's bite-sized pieces of that.
Oh wow. Okay.
So one of our moderators, Anas, Edge Stock Trader, made a accelerator course, you know? So he cut it down to small little pieces that are a lot more high quality.
Yeah, highly suggest. Again, me being a new trader, only a couple years in, I watched that course twice. I barely knew the definition of a stock at that point, you know, and it really goes that deep from what a stock is to placing your first trade. Really, really beneficial. Highly recommend. So continuing with the MIC questions. Thank you, Andrew Wang. Is a question from him from the chat. Knowing what you know now, if you can go back and talk Starbucks Alex, what would you tell him?
I would tell him, stop being so stubborn and respect your stops. Use more hard market stops to exit your position rather than mental stops. Mental stops are bullshit. And just respect your risk, stop being so stubborn, have a max loss at the broker level, and that's it, man. It's the same things that we preach. Why do we preach these things? Because we've been through it already. You know, we make these stupid mistakes learning, and the difference is you could spend a decade making those mistakes, or you could just learn from someone who's already done it. I've made every mistake in the book 100 times.
So Alex, to break up from our questions, I know you have a few of the cars that we talked about. I know we got a few answers from you as far as the specs about the cars and how much you like them, but is the Ferrari, the one we're in right now, your favorite car?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite car. It's my favorite car for long trips because this Ferrari and most Ferraris are mostly like luxury vehicles. So it's like a luxury sports car. So what you have to remember is there's like aggressive, loud, throaty cars, which is like the Lamborghini type of thing, right? So if you want loud, throaty, aggressive, which I like because I like driving, would be the Lambo. This is more of like a gentleman's car because by the time you're able to afford a Ferrari, you're like a little bit older and you want like smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this car is very smooth. It drives like a, you ever been in like a Mercedes? Like a S-Class Mercedes or anything like that? It's like a very, very souped up S-Class. So it's very comfortable. This is the fastest car I own. It's dangerously fast, way too fast. This is 1,000 horsepower. It's just really comfortable for long drive versus like the Porsche that I have, the GT3 RS, is like bumpy, like it's like a track car, you know what I'm saying? So like that's better for like lower, like 15, 20 minute drives type of thing. Most people that have these cars, they don't even drive it anyway, you know what I'm saying? So like they don't even know. Like most of the people that you see driving these cars, like the YouTube car reviewers that like don't drive it every day. They drive for 30 minutes and they give it back. You know, I drive these things every day. So I would say this is like, in terms of long trips, this is the best long trip car, and it's also the fastest car I have. And actually, I think it's also the most expensive car I have. Lambo is by far the best all-around car. It's comfortable when you want it to be. It's loud when you wanted it to be. It's a special edition, so the price is going up. And then my wife's car is obviously like a, you know, luxury, absolute top tier of luxury that you could have. It's like driving on a cloud.
And that's the worst one on gas?
The absolute worst one. That thing, literally, bro, just like it like spits gas out. Like it's like really horrible, that car. It's a V12 twin turbo and it weighs a gazillion pounds. So like it just destroys it. This Waymo is kind of bugging me out,
yeah,
bro.
He's getting way too close.
This Waymo is getting way too close.
Doing,
Get the f out of here, bro. Get the f out of here, dude.
Waymo, bro. All right, so going back to some of the questions here, we have a few more. Again, from Andrew Wang. He asked another question. What is the ultimate dream?
A lot of people always say like, you know, you want to retire, you want to do this, you want to do that. I think as long as you wake up and you do what you love, like that's living the dream, right? So what is my ideal day? My ideal day would include getting enough sleep at night, having a cup of espresso, having a great trading day, having a great live trading day. And that doesn't mean in profits, that just means in low stress. Exercising, driving one of my cars, having a steak, and watching a movie with my wife. If I could do that every single day, that's all I need. So let's actually think about that. What do we do today? Today, got a decent amount of sleep, had my coffee. Trading day was pretty stressful, so I'm not gonna kind of consider that. Got a workout in with George, which is great. Driving one of my cars. We're gonna go out to dinner. We're gonna have an amazing dinner. There's gonna be a steak in the dinner. And then probably when we come back, we're gonna watch a movie with my wife. So technically everything except like the solid trading day is what I'm gonna hit today.
You're living your dream almost every day, bro.
Trying.
That's everything from the MIC chat. Thank you guys. If there's any other questions that you guys have that you think about, please either put it on YouTube on the comments and I'll read them and write them down. Or if you're in the MIC chat on Slack, DM me at your boy George.
Yeah, we're also about to pull up now, so we'll continue from there. All right, guys, we just got here to Miami Design District. Valet, he tried scamming me for $80. I live here, it's actually $60. So we got that sorted. So counter is down $60 now. So I think we were at $2,900 minus 50 for breakfast, was $2,850. First things first is we're gonna go to Louis Vuitton, grab a new wallet, and then we'll see what we're gonna do next. So a lot of these stores, guys, they don't let you record the inside. So we're not gonna be able to show you the inside, but we'll show you the aftermath of it all. First stop, minus 500. I think there's a Tiffany around here, so if you guys don't know, Bao just had a daughter, so I want to get his daughter a nice gift, so let's go there next. Number 2, gift secured for Bao's daughter. Is now minus 350. I don't know about you, Jordan. It's pretty hot. I think we should get some ice cream. Let's do it. So let's do that. Just got out of Aloe, found myself a nice t-shirt here. Can't believe t-shirts are $80. Now we're gonna get ice cream.
$80 for Aloe shirt? Yeah, Aloe's not even that like nice of a...
Aloe's popping, bro, popping. In their defense, bro, in their defense, their t-shirts are by far the most comfortable t-shirts ever.
Oh.
Ever. Just got the ice cream. It was like 21 and change with tip, but we'll round it up to 22.
All right, Alice, Kith Treats ice cream, 1 to 10.
1 million. 1 million, the best possible ice cream you could get. It's so good.
It's so worth it. Unbelievable.
It's so delicious. So, and plus, for when it's 100 degrees out like this, having ice cream to cool you down is like 10 out of 10.
Yeah, not sweating anymore.
Not sweating anymore. Not yet. But what I want to do is I want to go back to my place and hook up the valet. Valet in my building that takes care of all my cars. I want to make sure that I take care of them. So we're going to try to tip the valet when we get back some more, and then we'll see what we got left.
You want postman?
Thank you so much. Have a good day. So now, guys, we're on the way back. Just went to the design district. It was way too hot. Ran out of things to buy. So now gonna head home. And my car still has gas. I mean, I can fill this one up too while we're at it, you know what I'm saying? Like at this point now, it's becoming like a chore to spend the money, you know? So like the reality is like, you don't really need much. Yeah, let's go to the gas station, I guess, next before we head home. Say again, George?
Pump your own gas over here?
Yeah. It's everywhere except New Jersey you have to do that. Car has about half a tank already, but while we're here, might as well, right? All right, so what we got here, George? We got 32.50. We're gonna round it up to 33. All right, time to head back home.
All right, Alex, we got a last minute question from an MIC member. Thank you, Arshak, for sending this message. Oh, hold on, Alex going a little fast. All right. He says, please ask Alex if there was ever a day he regrets choosing to become a trader. If so, which day was that, and what happened to make you feel that way?
I mean, the honest, obvious answer is, you know, my biggest losing day, which was $435,000 in a single day. So that day was really, really tough. But if I was to not choose that easy cop-out type of day, I mean, it's any time, you know, in the beginning where your losses are overwhelming your win. So it's like you make money. Let's say you make $1,000. It takes you like a month to make $1,000. You're making $100 a day, $200 a day. All of a sudden you're at $1,000. You're feeling pretty confident. On the start of the next month, on the first day, you have like a $2,000 rent day. And you're just like, dude, my entire work for last month is gone and more. And that's really demoralized. No matter what level of trader you are, every beginner trader goes through that process of making money and then losing it all in one day. And the reason why you lose it all in one day is you don't have proper risk management. You don't have the broker regulated stops that we talk about. You're trading way too big. So those are the moments, I guess, back in my early on in my career where I would just like make money and then it'd be gone the next day. And I'm like, it took me a month to make that and then it's gone the next day. So anyone that says they haven't gone through that, in my opinion, is not being honest. You know, we've all been through that. And those are probably the worst times. But obviously the first one's like my biggest losing day, but like, if we're not counting that because like, whatever, I would say that.
Yeah, it makes sense. And man, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Broker stop.
It's your airbag and seatbelt. No matter what you're driving, my seatbelt is on and the airbag is on. It's just for emergencies. It's like saying, you know what? Right before I'm gonna crash, I wanna hit the airbag button myself. You're gonna be dead by then. Let the technology do it for you.
Yeah, I think I would have blew up at least one or if not two accounts already if I didn't have that.
And think about it, bro. When I first started, I didn't know that. Right. So I blew up accounts until I learned that lesson.
All right, Alex, we talked about a lot of things over the last few car sessions, and one topic we have not discussed fully or maybe at all is market cycles.
Okay.
Changing market cycles. So for all the new traders watching this, or for anyone that even wants to get into trading, the markets change, obviously, right? And cycles change. How does a new trader adapt, especially in 2026 with the markets being so irrational at times, irrational? I mean, they're just fluctuating like crazy.
Yeah, man. The biggest thing is like, as a new trader, you don't even know what a market cycle is. Market cycles are only learned through experience. The only way to learn market cycles is to be involved in the market. So the way that I learn market cycles is like, I know about 12 years of market cycles. Bao knows 20 years of market cycles. You know, all these other hedge fund managers, they know 30 years of market cycles. So your job is to learn from people that have been trading a long time, that have seen a lot, to learn what even is a market cycle. Because you as a new trader, you don't have enough screen time yet to even know the differences between cycles. So even me with 12 years of trading, I'm still seeing new market cycles. About 20 years of trading, he's still seeing new market cycles. So how can someone with 2 weeks of trading know what even a market cycle is? So you have to lean on the expertise of someone that has been through at least multiple market cycles before, and the only way is time. You don't have that time because you haven't been in the market long enough. So you need to piggyback based on other people that have been in the market longer.
I think as the markets are changing, you can always stick back to one method that I feel like always works in every cycle. It's a nail and bail.
Nail and bail is universal.
Right.
Problem is that you get greedy. Right. As long as you're able to control your greed, you can nail and bail all day long. Take the money and walk away.
Right.
Problem is you take the money and it doesn't feel like enough. So nail and bail is universal for sure. It's just controlling that greed aspect that comes along with it.
Right. It's like, always getting a single or a double every day. But then, one day you get sick of it, you're like, I really want to hit a home run.
Yeah.
I really want to hit a home run.
I get that,
you strike out.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very well said. Good analogy, George. I like that.
I've known you for a long time. You're my best friend. you're a little bit of a superstitious guy.
Sure.
How does superstition in general just like affect your trading? I mean, I know we had the sage that we kind of went around your room after the 4 days of losing. Like, what does it mean to you? How does it affect your trading? And just tell us a little bit about it.
Bro, I was never superstitious until I met Bao. Bao is the most superstitious person ever, and Bao is big on feng shui. So let me tell you a funny story first. So when Bao moved into his house in California, he moved in, and Bao's like notorious. If he like loses money, he'll like sell his computer the next day. Like he bought like a $3,000 laptop. He lost like $100 the day he bought it. He sold it. He just gave it away. He's like, take it for free type thing, you know? Well, another example is actually when he moved into his house in California, he was like sets up like a feng shui map or whatever the hell it is. And basically what was happening is the way it works in feng shui is like you're supposed to have like a clear again, I'm no feng shui expert, so don't quote me, but like from your door to your office, there should be a clear path, right? There shouldn't be any obstructions between your door and your office. Bao's house, when he moved in, he had a door and then like a wall, and then it went to the office. So when he moved in, he was like kind of losing money. And he's like, what the f? So he hired like a feng shui expert to come into his house, and the feng shui expert said, oh, I know what the problem is. I was like, what? He's like, it's this wall. You gotta knock it down. I was like, okay, knocks down the wall. Then I guess the feng shui now works where it's going through the door to his office. He's been killing it since. So stuff like that, when you start to hear it, like Bao wore the same pajamas for like a month and a half because he never lost a single day in them. And after he lost, he threw them out. So for me, superstition, Bao actually made a video on this a while back. If you search up like My Investing Club Feng Shui or something on YouTube, it'll show up. But superstition is just a way to kind of calm you down. Because when you're kind of like on a losing streak like I was, you doubt yourself. You get in your head. You start overthinking. So if you're like, look, I'm gonna wear my lucky pajamas, I'm gonna put my sage on, and I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, it may work, it may not work, but all we know is it calms you down. Right. So when you're in a level of calm down, then you will obviously already perform better. But for me, I believe it, dude. I believe, the sage, I believe all that stuff, but that's just me. But the way Bao explained it is like that stuff will kind of calm you down when you're feeling anxiety, because if you're more anxious, you're gonna trade poorly, Right. But yeah, everything in my office, every single thing you see in my office is something lucky. If I put something in my office and I lose money, it goes in the garbage the next day. There was a time when me and George were living together, I had a lucky candle and it was unlucky, and I gave it to George. And I was like, George, are you sure you want this? It's unlucky. And George's like, yeah, I'll take it.
I think I lost the next day and threw it out.
I think that's exactly what happened.
We have to bring an expert in to cleanse our house.
Yeah, so like, look, we've done a lot of crazy and everything that you see in my office has to do some sort of luck with it. So I just keep it rolling like that.
I didn't know Bao was that.
That was the most superstitious person you'll ever meet in your life, dude.
Wow.
Like, he won't even wear like a red shirt while he's trading, because it's like, I'm telling you, bro.
That is hilarious.
You think I'm crazy, bro? Bao is the OG of superstition, and look how successful he is.
Right. Makes sense.
All right, everyone, we're almost back home here, and what I'm gonna do is, of the 800 that's left, I'm gonna tip my valet 500. They always take care of my cars. They always take care of me. Now it's my turn to take care of them. Good, man. Good. This is my cousin George.
What's up, man?
George,
how you doing, man? How's everything?
Good.
We're shooting a video today, Alan, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to hook up the valet with some extra money. So this is for the entire valet, man. Just thank you for everything, bro. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you, bro. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah, no, bro, you guys are awesome. All right, guys, update on the money counter. We tipped the valet $500, which leaves us $305 left, accounting for a $1,000 dinner bill. So technically, we have $1,300 to spend on dinner. I don't know if it's possible. We're gonna try to figure it out. But you can see, guys, how many things we did. We got bagels, we got gas for 2 cars, we got Starbucks, we got Tiffany, Louis, Aloe, tipped the valet, an amazing, amazing dinner, and money still left over. So stay tuned. We got more stuff coming here right now. All right, guys, now it's 4:15 p.m. If you guys remember, right after I finished trading, we sent a wire route form to Cobra Trading. That is the broker that I use. It's a recommended broker. We highly recommend you check that out. It is a USA regulated broker, not some overseas prop firm nonsense. The goal is to show you how fast you get the money. So it's 4:15 p.m. now. The wire just hit my bank account. So exactly like you see, the money that we make, we have it the same day in our bank account. So that feels pretty good now. All right, guys, now it's time for dinner. We have a private chauffeur that's actually free, so it's not gonna be going down on the money counter. It's my wife over there.
I'm not free.
Shout out to her, she's definitely not free. We're sitting in the back of her car, which is like pretty much like a limousine. So you guys saw me driving it earlier, which is like one experience, but George, show them around real quick. Let them see what we're working with. So we got Starlight over here with the shooting star option. Every few seconds, a shooting star goes. Back here, pretty comfortable, spacious. I could extend my feet and still have plenty of room. Floor mats, I mean, you can't really tell, but they're pretty fuzzy. They got some fuzz to them. And yeah, that's it. We got about 20 minutes until we get to dinner, and we're gonna take you guys along with us. This is gonna be, George, if this is not the best Italian meal that you've had, I mean, bro, I'm gonna be pretty upset. So I wanna hear a review from you at the end of it. We still have budgeted $1,000 for this dinner. I don't know if we're gonna hit, but we're gonna try. Probably half of that is gonna be wine because I've been on antibiotics for 10 days. Finally done, annoying trading week, long day. It's time to get... we just got here. It's packed, obviously. Any good restaurant is obviously packed like this. Hopefully this noise canceling is working because it's loud as hell in here. But our table should be ready soon. First thing I'm gonna do is order that bottle of wine. Maybe let's show them around the bar real quick, George. All right, George, you got the wine decided for the night. Temiz Vineyards special selection, $4.85. Oh, so you came prepared. Oh, bro, thank you seriously, bro, for everything this week. I really appreciate it, bro. My favorite wine, my favorite restaurant, my favorite wife, and my favorite man. All right, guys, we're gonna do a restaurant rating test. George, what do you think, bro? Tell me, bro, honestly.
Honestly, probably the best chicken parm I've ever had in my life.
It's chicken parm with vodka sauce all over it, spicy rigatoni vodka, then a porterhouse, then French fries, and bro, like...
Even the Caesar salad was unbelievable. I know you know, thousands of Caesar salad, but it was actually really good.
So I think officially, like, this is my favorite restaurant ever. Like, seriously, like, the music, the food, the vibes, the everything. So good, dude.
If you put them all together, it's I mean, dude.
If you made this far in the video and you type in the word vodka, we're gonna pick one person to win 1 year of live trading with us. So hopefully you made it. 940, so very close to 1,000. I'm approximating our available budget is about 1,300. So we're gonna have 1,300 total. Let's see what that tip amount is. 38%.
Wow, that's full budget.
That's our full budget. All right, we just wrapped up Anthony's Runway. The best dinner ever. It is officially my favorite restaurant ever. We had the vodka chicken parm, spicy rigatoni vodka, porterhouse French fries. The amazing waiter that we had sent over a free cannoli, which, I mean, dude, when he does that, we gave him a 40% tip. So I don't know where we're at on the counter. You'll probably see it up here somewhere, but we should be clean on that. So thanks for joining us for this video. If you like these videos, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you want to see from us. We want to make these videos for you. So let us know if you want to see more trading, more cars, more everything. Let us know and we'll make that for you. We'll see you on the next one.